What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. This question today comes from Benjamin Weiss. Okay, he says, if I make a video, can I use his name? So there's your name, Benjamin. Benjamin wants to know my opinion on drinking protein shakes between meals to make up for calories and which ones are better to use. Dorian Yates was an advocate of this type, but I've also read contradicting articles say it's not effective. He said he has to take protein with his job because he can't get 5 or 6 cooked meals a day in, and wants to know if he's wasting his time and money with the protein shakes. Now, first of all, I've never seen articles contradicting say that, protein shakes are not effective in between meals. It also depends on how you apply it. Now, if you're going to do a protein shake in the instance of what you're saying, it's not necessarily between meals. It's going to be a meal. And when I write up a diet for people on my program, they're shocked to see that, okay, in the supplement section, we have our supplements that we use, but protein's not in the supplement section. Why is protein not there? Because protein is a food. It's a powdered food. So protein winds up on the food list as a protein source. So essentially, you're getting liquid food. That's what it is, okay? Now, would it be ineffective? I don't see how. If you're meeting your protein needs through a liquid source, it would be ineffective. I myself have always done a lot of shakes because I don't feel like eating. I'm not a big eater sometimes. And other times I just don't have the fucking time. And that's just part of life. Sometimes life gets in the way. I've never really, actually, you know what? There have been times where I didn't really work very much, where I was able to get all foods in when I was competing. But there were also times where I was competing where I had to fucking work 3 or 4 jobs. I was working at, GNC. I was working at the club. I had my clients at the gym, and then I worked at the gym. So I was working 4 jobs when I met Kari, and still competing, because we actually met at the Pittsburgh. So 4 jobs, you're sleeping like 3 or 4 hours a night. You're at a job more than likely all the time during the day when you're working, so you're not going to be able to sit there and eat meals. So a lot of shakes came into play. Still worked. I got to the stage. I looked, I feel that up to that point, it was one of my best looks. It worked, so it was fine. Now, based on the fact that you're going to use this as part of your diet, it's not a supplement, okay? It's going to be part of your food, your protein sources. If you're having 5 to 6 meals, that protein source is going to have some carbohydrates and carbohydrates and fats together with it, which makes it a solid meal. Now, I'm not a big believer in jamming all your calories into 1 meal a day, getting all your carbs into 1 meal a day. I'm not a big believer in that. I mean, people can argue all day long, but the things I've seen over 20 years, it makes a big difference as to what you're eating, when you're eating it, and how you're going to get results, and how fast. Okay, all these people talking about you can jam everything in fucking 1 meal are not getting jacked fucking shit fast. But they get results. But fuck results. I want fast results and optimal results. And I want that shit to happen like that if it can. Fuck slow. Slow sucks. Slow and steady, kiss my ass. Anyways. So you have, your meal, like let's say you have a protein, a couple scoops of protein with banana blended in it with some olive oil. Now you have a full meal which actually has food in it. And it will now digest as food because it has actual food in it. So, it depends on how you use it. Little story time, a quick little story time. If you go to my blog, bios3training.com, you're going to see a section here where you can click and see photos of people that have used my system. And this has to be updated. That's old because I got a shitload of people I can put up there now. But one of them is Rob Schumann. Now, Rob's a buddy of mine who we used to work together at Gold's Gym in D.C. And then when I moved to Rockville, he came to Rockville. And Rob is a personal trainer at one of the big gyms. Now, I forget which one he's at. Now, I haven't talked to him in a bit. But the way that the clients run back-to-back, he doesn't have time to eat. And he was having a shit time getting his fucking meals in. And he was like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I don't want to do all the shakes. It's not going to work as good. And I was like, what? Why? So we just work him up a fucking diet. You can see within the 3 or 4 weeks what happened to his physique, making him get all his protein in those shakes. Now, Rob also was, when I told him this is going back to Gold's, I told him that, you can take your protein in shakes if you can't eat it. And what he would do is throw 3 or 4 scoops of whey protein in a shake and slug it down. It was like 100 grams of protein. Now, if you're not used to taking 100 grams of protein, especially liquid source, it can upset your stomach, which is what happened to him. He got an upset stomach, and it fucked with the stomach, and it was just bad all the way around. So you got to understand that, even though it's a meal replacement protein shake, it's still protein, and it's still going to have the same effect on your body. My coach, Phil Hernan, the guy who coaches me, won the USA's not eating any protein. He was drinking liquid beef aminos. He would take the bottle and pour it directly into his fucking jug of water, and he would sip on that throughout the day, which gave him all his protein needs. He wasn't even eating protein. He was just eating his carbs and fats. So, you don't have to eat protein. It does work just fine. people are going to jump up and say, well, and I can hear it already. I know exactly what's going to happen. Rich Piana said, okay, Rich Piana, the 5%ers, take them right out of it, okay? Because this guy's working a fucking job that he can't get to the food, okay? He's not a competitive bodybuilder. He's not, or maybe he's going to be, or he is now, whatever, but he's not living the, pro bodybuilder lifestyle where you're basically not working a full-time job and you're training all the time, cooking your meals, doing stuff like, the people with big contracts do. This guy has a job and he's trying to get along in his life and still get results and make gains. Okay, so take the 5%ers out. Now we're looking at the 95%ers. And the 95%ers may have to do like stuff like this, and that's okay. Okay, because it's a whole different animal than what you're doing. Okay, you are not one of those people that are going to drop everything in their life and only train and compete. You have a big aspect of your life on the other side that has to be taken care of. And for most people, I tell them all the time, if you're doing something and it is fucking with your life, stop. Stop, okay? Because real life is not fucking bodybuilding. Trust me, I know. Spent 20 years doing it. I lost a lot of relationships, fucked up a lot of things. Do what you have to do to keep your everyday life and family and friends in check so that those things are balanced, and then worry about your bodybuilding, okay? Unless you want to be pro. Then you can do such crazy shit. It doesn't really matter. So my advice is go ahead and do what you have to do. The protein shakes are fine. It's still just protein sources, which come from food, okay? So it's technically you're using it as a food source. Bios3training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bios3training.com is a blog, and where the protein powder is a food source of protein, and we're out.